Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. I hope you're all doing great. So since my last video, I have been trying to come up with a new idea for a new video of what I wanted to show you guys. And I kind of hinted at what I was going to talk about or make a video on at the end of my last video, which I apologize, that video was really long. But if you made it to the end, you know that I talked about my shadows in game, both indoor and outdoor shadows. And so we're going to start this video off with a mod that I found. It's a pretty new mod. It just came out about, I want to say 2 months ago. And so what it does, it's called Shadow Extender. So I'll read you the description real quick. This mod increases the draw distance of shadows and in addition improves the look of map view by making trees and other miscellaneous decor cast shadows when they previously did not. So you can see the pictures right here. And we'll scroll down and we'll look at some before and afters. So by default, I think most of us probably know this. Whenever you zoom the camera in at a low angle, the shadows from far away, they fade out. So you can see right here, this is from the trees back here. So you can see they show a little bit up front, but then you can't really see it, and it just doesn't really make the game look too great whenever you don't have this mod. And so we'll look down here, see the trees, they do this weird kind of just like, I don't even know, it just kind of looks like gloopy. It doesn't look good, basically. And then look at the after, well, and in map view too. You can't see shadows from anything from map view, so it just kind of looks flat and plain. Just doesn't look good. So in the after pictures, you can see here, at the same angle, same zoom distance, you can see that the trees actually cast full shadows, as well as I believe this is the equestrian center, and you can see that it casts a shadow too, so it just looks really good from far away. You can see the roof, the windows, they cast really nice shadows. And then down here too, you can see the trees from far away, they cast really nice shadows. And then lastly, from map view, so it casts a really good shadow as well. And so I just wanted to show this mod, and I want to show how to install it too, because for some reason, whenever you install it and you don't mess with any of the file settings, the shadows, they don't look that great. They look really pixelated. Even if you play with 8K shadows, they still don't look that good if you don't mess with the files a little bit. So, and it took, I don't even know how I figured this out, but I did somehow. And so, without further ado, let's get on to this. So, we're going to come up here. You're going to download from Sim File Share. I already have it opened up here. And then you go ahead and press the download button. And then we will open it up. And we're going to see 4 different files here. So we're going to have the draw DLL, the shadow extender, the CFG file. This is the main file right here. This is the really important one. They're all important, but this is like the one that actually makes the shadows extend. And then we'll have a presets folder. So we are going to go over here. Let me close this. And we'll go to the root directory of the game. So if you have the game on Steam, you're going to go to wherever you have the game installed. It's going to be, for me, it's in this SSD right here. So I'm going to go to Program Files, not that one. That's the wrong one. Steam Library, Steam Apps, Common, The Sims 3, Game, Bin, and I already have this mod installed. But what you're going to do is you're going to take this one, and you're going to just drop those right in your bin folder. So you can see I already have where is it at? The draw DLL right here. And then I have the ASI file right here. So those two you're going to take out, and you're just going to put them right in your bin folder. And then if you play with, I believe it's 2K shadows. I'm not sure which one this is. But if you open the presets folder, you're going to see 2K, 4K, and 8K right here. So this is basically which file you're going to take is based on what resolution shadows you play with. So I play with 8K shadows, so I would open this, and I would take this and put it right in here, which I already have this one right here. So I think they're, I believe they're both the same. So you open it, you don't have to mess with anything in here. You just take the file out and put it right here. So yeah, these are the same. And so as far as installing it, that's all you do. It's pretty simple. But if you just left it like this and you open the game, you're gonna notice that the shadows, they look really pixelated and really jagged, and they just don't really look good, which is a trade-off for the mod itself, because the mod itself, it stretches out the shadows, so they're not gonna look really, really high quality, but I just didn't like how it looked like that. So I was like trying to think, I was thinking, what can I do to make it look better? And so if you're familiar with how to change your shadow resolution, uh, we have to go in here. You're gonna go to your graphics rules, and then you're gonna open it up, and then you can just Control F, and then shadow, whoops, max size, and then press enter, and then you'll come down here. So if you're familiar with this, you know that the shadow map size, if you change that number, it changes the shadow resolution in game. And so it corresponds with what setting you have for lighting quality in game. So if you play on low, then you would change this number right here to whatever uh, resolution you want. So if you play with 2K, it'd be 2048. If you play with 4K, it'd be 4096, I believe, and then 8K is 7690. So I play with the setting on high, so I would change this number. So by default, if you play with 8K shadows without this mod that I just showed you, your number right here would be, I believe, 7690. Let me check. Let me do the math real quick because I'm not very good at math. 7096 times 2. So it'd be 7680. So the number right here would be 7680. But whenever I installed this mod and I left that number at 7680 and I started the game, the shadows, like I said, looked not great at all. And so I was like, what can I do? What can I do? What can I do? And I was like, well, if you want to change the resolution, normally you just double the number, right? So if you never change this number, it'll be 2048 for 2K shadows. And so if you want higher resolution, you double the number, right? So 2048, 4096, 7680. And so I was like, well, what if I double that number? Should that improve the shadows? In theory it would, right? And so I changed it. I changed the 7680 to 15,360. And I was like, no harm done. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. But I did it. I changed the number and I opened the game and the shadows look really, really good. They don't look too jagged. They're still a little bit jagged, but it's definitely nothing that you'll notice unless you zoom in like really, really close. So I didn't really care. And I tried tripling the numbers, so I did 7680 times 3, which I believe is like 21,000 something. But whenever I did that, I didn't notice any difference. So I was just like, you know what, I'm gonna just keep it like this because I think it looks really nice like that. So like I said, if you play with your lighting quality setting on high and you install the 8K shadow extender file, then you will come in here to your bin folder and your graphics rules, and then you will find this line right here if you play on high, and you would change it to 15,360. If you play on medium or low, I'm honestly not sure if doing this will help at all. Obviously not changing this number. You have to come to your respective setting and then change the number. So if you play on high, follow these instructions and it'll work, trust me. So we're going to close that out and we'll start the game up. And then you'll see how these shadows look really, really good. I really like them. And I feel like this mod, so I feel like I'm always looking for things that will improve the visual quality of the game. And like, so I showed you how to install Reshade, and then I feel like I have a really nice lighting mod. And then I feel like this was like the last thing that really it just like really made the game look really good. And I feel like I finally found that place where like I'm just happy with how the game looks. I'm happy with how it looks. I'm happy with how it runs. And I really like the game. So now I'm, really focused on playing it, I think. So we're gonna go into this save. And also this is in Riverview. I don't so I installed the world not through the launcher because I do not like the launcher. I changed the world to a .package file and then I installed it a different way, an alternative way. And for some reason, I don't know, it shows this. So World Riverview Sims. This is Dawn Lothario. And it does that for all the Sims in the game. Like whenever you hover over them, it'll show like World Riverview Sims Lothario. So I don't know why it does that. I need to try to figure that out. Um but yeah. So I hope you guys are all doing good. And I hope you followed my instructions in the last video on how to make your game run good and how to set up reshades so that your game looks really nice. So we're gonna let story progression do its thing real quick so that way we don't get any stuttering. And then we're gonna close that out. And you can see here, whenever we zoom in, this isn't a very good angle to look at because you can't really see shadows. Okay, but whenever you zoom in, you see the shadows in the back over there and over here. Because normally if we didn't have this mod and we were this zoomed in, you would not see any kind of shadows over here. So it looks really good like this. And then, like if we come down here and look, if you zoom in, you would not see any shadows over here. So obviously the shadows back here, they're not going to be, they're not going to show up because, I think the modder did what they could. I think he did a great job with this mod though. Um, but the shadows, they don't fade out at such a close distance. So I think it just looks better in general. And then, if you go down here, they start to show up at a farther distance, which looks really nice. So that's that. And we'll go into map view real quick. And then I'll show you. You see the shadows? Oh my god, it looks so good. It looks really, really nice. You see the shadows over here, and they show off the trees. And like I said, I believe how the modder explained it. He said that he stretched out the shadows, so that's why the quality might not look, as great. Let me show you an example of that real quick. Let's just go over here. So if you zoom in really close, you can see they look a little bit pixelated, but if you went into your graphics rules and changed the number and doubled it how I had said, if you play with 8K shadows, change it to 15,360. And this looks a lot better than if you just left it at 7680, so I don't think it looks that bad. Because normally you're going to play at, this distance. You're not going to really ever zoom in this close. So it looks really nice like that. And then come over here, and you can see the shadows show all the way, I believe, over here. Yeah, see this tree all the way back here. And this building all the way back here is casting the shadows, so it looks really nice. So that's that. I just believe that, like, this mod, I feel like it's like a quality of life mod. I feel like everybody should have it. Because I just feel like it really enhances the game. So you can see all the way back here, So I just love it. Shadows are like one of my favorite things in games. I just love looking at them. I love whenever they look pretty realistic too. So now I'm going to show you the other thing that I wanted to show you. So if you look in here, zoomed in right where I needed it to. So if you look in here, you'll see that the light that comes in through the windows is not very good. So I'm going to turn this off so you can see it. It's not very good. It kind of just, it allows in like how do you say it? It just allows in like a little bit of light, but like in real life, if a shadow comes in, it's going to cast the shadow through the window panes, and you'll see, these individual lines right here. Like how in The Sims 4, for example, the indoor lighting in The Sims 4, I think it looks really good. That's like my favorite thing about the game. It's the only thing I like about the game, is the indoor lighting. I just think it looks really nice. And so I came across, I think it was on Tumblr, somebody had these decorative windows and they said that they don't function as regular windows. And I was like, so let me try something out real quick. So let's come down here, and I already set one up right here. So this is like a really bad angle. We'll go and speed this up real quick so you can see. And you can see that through this window right here, the light's actually coming through. Isn't that cool? That is just so neat to me. So anyway, so basically what this is a decorative window. So it's not a real window. So the game doesn't recognize anything being here, but then the light still comes through. See, from the outside it looks pretty good, but it does leave a gap up here, so that's why this block's here. But I'm going to show you how to install it. I'm also going to leave the link for this, as well as these skylights that are decorative, and those are the only two that I have, the only two decorative like windows that I have. I've been trying to find some, but I haven't had any luck. I feel like that's like the one piece of custom content that I could not find was decorative windows, which kind of makes sense because most windows you want to actually be functional, and these technically aren't functional. So anyway, we're going to go into build mode. Well, that's not build mode, it's buy mode. And it's going to take a second because I have all this 3D grass in the yard. I think I placed this grass like 200 times, I want to say, because they're individual pieces, and it doesn't cause any performance issues for me, but it does make buy mode and build mode kind of load slow. But it'll just take a few more seconds, I think. Okay, so we're gonna go into build mode, and let me show you the windows real quick. So it's under decor, and then I filter for all, and then I'll wait for it to load for a second. It takes a second to load, and then we'll go into custom content, and it's right here. So there's a set of 3, and like I said, I'll put the links below for it, so you don't have to worry about that. And they're just decor windows. Oh, before you do anything, let's remember to put testing sheets enable true, and then move objects on, so that we can place it. And then we're going to go ahead and delete. So that's the thing with these windows, you have to delete a portion of the wall. So whenever you delete a portion of the wall, I'll do it over here real quick. Uh, so doors and windows, like actual functional doors and windows, I don't even know how to explain this. I'll just show you real quick. So whenever you delete this wall, the lighting changes a little bit, right? And it allows, the light to come in from outside. But whenever you have, and then you see whenever I undo it, it makes the lighting change to regular indoor lighting. And so whenever you put a window, see, and it is that weird thing. And it allows the light to come in a little bit, but just not really. And so these windows, they are floor to ceiling somewhat besides this part right here. And then regular windows are normally just like this. They're not that big at all. And so the reason that these are floor to ceiling is because you have to delete this whole portion of the wall right here to actually make it so that way there's not any like empty spaces really besides this one, which I'll show you how to fix that in a second. And so anyway, we'll come to buy mode, and then we'll go to this again, and then filter it. And then we'll place that window right here. And see, it kind of like blocks the space a little bit, because I think that technically the window panes are just empty spaces, and that these, whatever they're called, those are there. And so it casts a shadow and it looks really nice. And so one of the drawbacks for this is that I think that Sims are going to have the unfinished moodlet, because technically this isn't a room anymore since we knocked out that one wall. Technically, it's it's an unfinished room because it's not closed. So that's like the drawback to it. And then also I feel like, or I believe that like in fall and winter time, if the Sims are in here and they're like wearing, everyday clothes or whatever, they'll get like that movement that says they're cold or they're shivering or whatever. And then I'm not sure if snow will actually come in here or not, since technically this is an open room. I'm not sure if snow will come in. I haven't tested this out too well, so if you do it, just keep that in mind that technically the room's going to be unfinished. So now we're going to go to show you this. So this block actually comes with these windows, and so all you do is place it up there, and it just blocks the empty space. And then you can create a style, this, and then just drag it over there, and now it matches. So you can see it looks normal. Besides this, I don't know why it flickers sometimes. See, it flickers, and now it's, I don't know. But anyway, so that's that. I hope that you're happy with your shadows now if you follow this tutorial correctly. And I hope that you like this little trick with the windows. Like I said, links below for everything. And until next time, bye guys.